All right. Sorry, can you guys hear me? I don't know if my screen is actually showing. Sorry, we have a little bit of technical issues, but um, hold on. Okay. I found it. I found. Um. Okay. Sorry. So, good day, everyone. Welcome to it's day one of Spaces ArcCon 2023. So, I don't know if you could hear me. So, please just signify, probably in the comment section. Please, if you can hear me, just signify in the comment section. Okay, so good everyone. It's day one of the Spaces ArcCon 2023. Um, Firstly, I would like to welcome you all. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my camera, but yeah. Firstly, I would like to welcome you all to Spaces ArcCon 2023. It's day one. For those of you who joined us last week, you that was like the opening ceremony for Spaces ArcCon, and it's been an amazing week so far. We've got great lineups of speakers today, and also it was week. The week was actually filled with a lot of stuff. the team were actually building their products during the week as well. So we are yet to actually wrap up Spacers Hackathon 2023. As you all know, it's a virtual hackathon. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm going to try to fix that now. But as we all know, it's a virtual hackathon, and it's our first hackathon, virtual hackathon here at CodeSpace. Um, Sorry, I don't know if you could see me, but probably let me just move on first. So, my name is Clinton Imaro. I'm the founder of CodeSpace. So, before we move into the program fully, I would like to talk about CodeSpace a little bit. So, CodeSpace is a community for Gen Z to actually come together to build their products, connect, collaborate. So, that is the essence of we actually hosting this hackathon for Gen Zs to come together to form the habit of collaboration with each other. Please, if you could see me, those of you on YouTube, please just kindly signify. Okay, okay. So Spaces Icon is actually one of our purpose to driving the community forward. So we, here at CodeSpace, we Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to try to fix that now. So yeah, at CodeSpace, one thing we actually believe in, we believe in collaboration and teamwork. So that's why we've put together the Spacers ArcCon 2023. This year, we decided to go fully virtual, and then probably we are going to be having our physical event live in Lagos next year. But for this year, we actually went virtual, and we want to say a very big shout out and thank you to our sponsors for this hackathon. So we teamed up with Cardbase to actually bring this to life. Yeah, so as I was saying, CodeSpace is a community for Gen Z founders, techies across Africa to actually come together, build their products, collaborate, connect, and share ideas. So that's the essence of the community. And one of the main focus, I believe, not just me but my team are really hoping for is that in the next, let me say, few years or few months, we'll be able to actually provide, not just providing job opportunities, but also like securing job opportunities for Gen Zs across the globe, across Africa. We know that Gen Z, they're actually taking over now. If you notice, like we are literally taking over. So in the next coming months, so we are planning to actually make job opportunity available for Gen Zs by connecting with so many companies, partnership and all. We believe that if Gen Z go into the market out there, they're actually going to do wonders. So that's our main purpose for Code Space. Sorry, I don't know why you can't see me anymore, but I believe my camera is actually on. Um, I think we've actually wasted much time, but I just want to welcome you all to Spacers ArcCon 2023. It's our day one, and we're also going to be having a virtual conference just like this on YouTube as well tomorrow, where we are going to be looking at the presentation from the team, the participating team for Spacers ArcCon 2023. Alongside, we are going to have our jury who are going to judge those products as well. So, without further ado, let's begin. Okay, sorry. If you want to actually go through the agenda for today's program, you could actually head over to Spacers Arc www.codespaceafrica.com. So you could actually find the agenda or the schedule for today's event. But before I leave, I would like to welcome Mercy. I don't know if she's here already, but she's our first speaker for today. Or okay, I would like to welcome Mercy.
Okay, thank you. I just want to be sure that I can be heard and seen.
Hi, Mercy. I don't know if they cannot. Can you see me?
I can't see you. Can you see me?
You neither. I can see you, but I can see Isabella. I think. Yeah, I can see Isabella.
Can you see me yet?
No, I can see you.
All right, let's just give me a minute. You should see me in a bit. Okay, can you see me now?
Yeah, sure, I can see you. So I'm going to hand it over to Isabella first.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. So good to be on your faces. Good afternoon again, and once again, it is Spacers Hackathon and Conference Week, and we have here with us our first speaker, Mercy Ben Itwa. She's also known as the Da Vinci of design. So she's going to be speaking to us today on a very, very important topic. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Mercy, we're so happy to have you today. Thank you for making it.
Thank you very much for having me. Okay, hey guys, good afternoon. My name is Mercy Benito, as Isabella has said. I am a project designer currently working at Kala. I'm also the founder of Design Clan. So, Design Clan is a community for designers, all kinds of designers, product designers, brand designers, motion designers, and our sole aim is to help designers master their craft, which is help you attain design mastery. So we believe at Design Clan that if you can attain design mastery, which is master your skill to a very great level, getting job opportunities and making that money from tech becomes much more easy. And that's what we live and breathe for at Design Clan. Okay, so I think I have 20 minutes to speak, so I don't waste my 20 minutes rambling. I'll just get straight to it. I'm speaking on design first development, bridging the gap between design and code. So, just like a little background on myself, I started off in tech as a developer. I started the first programming language I learned was Python for data science. So I attended a boot camp at Data Science Nigeria in Lagos, Yaba, for I think that was it a month or 2 months? I think it was like a month or 2 months. I'm not really sure now. So I did that, and when I first started learning Python, I was very confused on it. But with time, I got a hang of it and all of that. So after Python, I went to Aptech. I studied at Aptech for 2 years. I was taught different programming languages: Java, C Sharp, even C. I hated C so much and all of that. So I have a very good background on programming and what it takes to take a project from inception to reality. And with my experience working with teams, I have a very vast understanding of what it takes to make a project a success, from having the idea to planning the building to actually designing, building and launching. And one thing I have noticed in the tech space is that so most of the time there's a bit of a drag between the design and the development phase, which most of the time elongates the processes of delivering projects. So I know that this is a hackathon and most of you have worked in teams to build things. You most definitely worked with designers, project managers, and developers. And you've definitely gotten experience from what you did at your this hackathon, and your progress from the beginning to where you are right now. And I'm very proud of each and every one of you who took on these challenges and completed them. Okay, so what I'll be speaking on today will help you understand how, probably next time in the future, and also reflect on your experiences in the past and how you can make these processes better in the future for yourself. I just want to be sure that I'm still heard. Can everyone still hear me? If you can hear me, probably just drop some comments. I haven't seen any comments yet that has said that. Okay, okay, yes. All right, all right, great, great. So we're just going to move on. So I was speaking on design first development, bridging the gap between design and code. As a designer, I believe that design phase is very important, but without development, the design just stays as design, and without design, the products that you build might be very shitty and will not bring in any money for the company. So being able to hack the design and development process and making sure that everybody involved in that process is on the same page is very important. And I hope with the things I will say today, you can put these things that I've said into your processes, whether you're probably already working in a company or you're looking forward to building your own product, and that would make what you do better. So, one of the first things I do as a designer is before I start designing any project, I want to have a meeting with developers, right? So I have my plan, I know what the project is about. And the first thing first, before I go to Figma to do any design, or before I build the information architecture or the user flows for how that product is going to work, I want to have a meeting with the developers. Why? Product. And if you're a developer here, you will understand that most of the time there are some technological infrastructures and requirements and some limitations that we currently have as developers in terms of the software you're using, the APIs that are available to be able to do some things, the limitations those APIs have, and so on and so forth. Now, as designers, you might not fully understand all these things. You might have an idea, but you might not know all of it, especially when you're designing for regulated industries such as like fintech or health tech and so on and so forth. So being able to have a collaborative meeting with the developers building these products is the first thing that should be on your list. This helps you to bridge the gap between what you think is possible and what's actually possible in terms of building. So that would like be the first step. And if you can hack this first step, it makes what you're working on very seamless. It makes whatever it is that you're going to be working on as seamless as possible, because the back and forth that would happen between the designers and developers, where you design something and the developers do something completely different because of some limitations that they have, you wouldn't have that in your case because you've dealt with all of that before you start designing. So how does this help you as a designer? Um, it helps you understand that, okay, these are the limitations I have. These are the things that this application should be able to do. These are the things that are feasible, and these are the things that are possible. So you're not designing things that are not possible in terms of functionality, right? So when you have these meetings with the people that are building these products, you understand that most of the time stakeholders really don't have any idea of design or development at all. And as a designer, I believe that as a designer, I'm a middleman between the stakeholders, let's say the founders or the business or the person that owns that person, the place that the money is coming from, paying me as a designer and developers. I believe I'm a middleman between that person, that firm, and the developers. So I have to make sure that I'm conveying the ideas that the stakeholders have. I am doing my own research as a designer to see what is feasible. And that research involves me collaborating with developers to understand what is feasible in terms of functionality on their part. So when I'm designing, I have developers at the back of my mind. We have we have had a meeting, I have given my ideas, and I have gotten feedback from them to know what is possible. With the money we have on ground, what kind of APIs can we pay for? How much does it cost to verify this process for one person for for the three different kinds of services that we have, and which one will be possible for us to use with the money that we have on ground in terms of funding? Okay, so if we're going to be using A, what are the limitations that A has? Can A do facial recognition, or is it just fingerprints, or does it support any biometric? If it doesn't support biometric, does it mean that's only part? So when you're designing that screen, you know that okay, because we're using this service and they don't support this particular feature of this application will not have biometric recognition, facial recognition, or any biometric validation, and that already helps you like so that you don't design it. You give to developers. They finish developing the product, and you go back and say, but in this place I put this, and you did not put it, and you have all of that, back and forth going on every time and everywhere. So the first things that should be on your list, number one, is having a collaborative kick-off meeting. You can call it a kick-off meeting with the developers. Also, if you're working with a big team, you can have that meeting with the project managers as a designer, have that meeting with the people managing database, have that meeting with the people that are analyzing the data for that company. Because apart from getting feedback to help your own processes, you might just figure out some things that might be like a roadblock in the future. You figure it out earlier on in the design phase, and that makes your processes very, 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 very simple. And okay, the second thing is design explorations. So I believe that one okay, because as designers we can design, and then uh we work solo. You either work on your own building your portfolio, or you're working with a group of other designers to build something. And that whole process, because you've probably not worked in a company before or whatnot, you don't really have the developers in your mind, and that is something that is very important. So when you're designing, we have different phases in our design process. I believe that when you've gotten to, you don't have to finish your design before you finish the design and you just hand off, and the developers just are seeing the design the first time when they're supposed to start writing the code. uh Having the developers, the development team, the engineering team in the process of your designing is very important. So you have different end-to-end processes for a particular product. For example, let's say onboarding and sign up. So you're done with onboarding and sign up. You have the designs ready, and you just move on to the next phase without taking that process and giving it to developers to test it. One thing I find very interesting is giving my developers the prototypes to test. So I finished the first phase of the design, which is onboarding and sign up for the 2 week sprint that I was assigned. I would first of all love to give it to developers because they're also like users, so it's part of user testing. They test the prototype, and because they are not only testing it as users that don't have technological background, they are testing it as users that also understand the functionality and how to make those processes possible in terms of writing code and programming. It's very interesting because they give me a lot of insights. So I want every designer here on this space today not to see the developers as their enemies. They are not enemies. All the beef that they are trying to put out there, that there's beef between designer and developers, it shouldn't be, because you people have to, both teams, design and development, have to work together to make sure that that product that is being delivered is a success. So you can see your developers as your second testers. Okay, so there is something that's also very important, which is something I've been doing a lot of research on recently. I recently completed a design challenge in Design Clan, where the people who register for the challenge were meant to use a design system to work on an end-to-end process, and the requirement we won the was completed, I think, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think the first week of October was when we completed the challenge. The first person won 50,000, second one 30, and the third one 20K. And they really put in effort into the designs that they released, and that was why they were the winners. So the challenge was for them to use a particular design system to design. And the reason for that is because design systems are very important. When I was, I think, barely 1 year into design, and I was assigned a task at where I was interning. Um, I was assigned a task because the senior designer had resigned, so I was kind of like the only one at that time. So I was given a task that I hadn't done before to design something that would actually like go properly live on the web app. So I designed and gave it to the front end developer. And then he was asking me that, okay, what are the accent colors? What are the primary colors? Like, where are they stored? What are the where can I find the hex codes? So how are they organized? What's like? He was trying to explain a design system to me, and me, I did not know what the design system was at that time, right? So we had hassles. Sometimes I'll be called on weekends, like, okay, can you and what is the how can I find this on Figma file? It's not arranged, it's not organized. And I'm like, why are people disturbing me? Like, I've already designed, use the design and write your code. Can't you see what is there? I did not understand that there were a lot of things involved in, organizing your designs, which helps the developers to organize their own code. So when you have a design system is it's like a library, it's a library of components that you use in your design. So for example, you have basic components that make up designs like buttons, input fields, icons, text fields, texts. So those are components. So behind components, you have things like text, color, spacing. So most of your components will be made up of those three things: colors, text, spacing, and shapes, basically. And so when you have a design system with predefined style guides, like your text is defined. This is the size I'm using for the heading. This is the size I'm using for the body. The primary color is blue, and you use like the material design guide where you have the main color as 500, you have the next one as 100, 200, 50, and all those design guidelines and those design systems help developers to organize their own code. So when they're looking through your design and they click on something, they know, okay, this button is this color, and they also save it as that in their own code base. So design systems not only help designers, it also helps developers with that design. There are some design systems that are directly linked to the code that people are writing. So when the designer changes a hex code of a particular pre-saved design, a pre-saved color, it changes in the code base, and that literally makes the whole process of design development very smooth. So I hope I'm not speaking too much big English, and people are understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so working on design systems, if it's something that you can learn, very important. Design systems and guidelines. Documentation is also very important in designing. Documentation helps not only you as a designer, it helps other designers that might be working with you, and it also helps developers to understand the thoughts and the reasons behind your design decisions and choices. And it also helps everything to be documented so that when even stakeholders are looking at the design documentation, they don't even necessarily have to look at the programmed, at the developed products. From your design alone, they can completely understand what it is that you all are building. So very important design systems and guidelines. Okay, so I mentioned this before, so I'm just going to say again: prototyping and feedback. I mentioned this while talking about design mock-ups and all of that. So prototyping and feedback very important. And I said, when you work on prototype end-to-end processes, you can give it to your developers to experience it, test it, and with that you get enough feedback into your design processes to make sure that when you're finally, handing off, I believe that in a product that wants to stay long term, there's no complete handoff. They are just milestones that you hand off. and move on. But whenever you're handing off those milestones, you will make sure that the back and forth after handoff is almost negligible or even non-existent, and that makes the product delivery quite fast, makes your processes fast, and it makes the experience people have with working with you good. Whenever they think of, oh, when I worked with Adventure of Design, the process was so simple, and there's a new project coming at the front, and they'll be like, you have to get that designer on this team because she's good. And it's not just about your designs looking good, it's about your work process with other members of the team. Okay, so make sure your developer is involved in what you're doing. And then one other thing that I want to major, I've been talking to the designers all through. Now I'll talk to developers. It's very important to code with a design mindset. So just because most often than not, when you're working with developers, they don't really pay attention to the small details that are in the design. And those small details are the things that we designers live for. And we don't live for them because we have to, or not because we want to. We live for them because that's what makes a product a success. We are not we are not designing rectangles and shapes. There's strategy, there's thinking, there are important things behind all our design decisions that are directly tied to the success of those products, because after writing the code and all that, and that product does not become a success, all the effort is wasted. So we make decisions for the success of the product, and it's very important to understand that as a developer. So when you see things in the design, you don't just change it because to do what that designer did is hard. It will take me 5 hours to write that code, but what I want to do in my head is 1 hour. So I'll just do that instead and change the design. No, 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 please, I beg you, don't do that. Write your code with a design mindset. If you understand that certain design decisions were made for the success of the product you're working on, because if that product becomes a success, indirectly success is tied to you as a developer. Make sure that you do exactly what it is that you see. And if you're working on a product and then the design is kind of like you have reservations about it, we have Zoom, there is Google Meet, there is we have Microsoft 365 where you can have meetings with your designers, like, and designers keep an open mind when a developer is coming to talk to you about certain things that you've done in your design. What you should always have in mind is that this conversation we are having is not this person critiquing my design. It is us both coming together as people working on this product to make sure that this product is a success. So when you have that kind of mindset towards the product you're working on, towards the company, towards the project, it helps everything move smoothly. That even when you have to work with a developer that is quite sour and doesn't really have a nice attitude, you will just overlook it and be like, okay, this meeting is for the success of the product that I'm working on, and that would help make your processes better. So developers, have meetings with your designers. If you have reservations, have meetings with them. If you have a roadblock and it's going to affect the design that has been handed off to you, have meetings with them. Communication is very important in reducing the friction we have between design and development. Okay, so obviously in the process of making products, design is always first. So it's design, then development. And it's important for the developers to understand that there's a reason why design comes first. Is because it handles a lot of the baggage in terms of thinking, in terms of coming up with strategies and making that product user accessible for the users, making that product making the experience of the product good for the users. So always have good to have it at the back of your mind that as I'm working on this product was designed this way for a reason, and it is going to be on my own best interest to stick to that. Okay. So iteration is very important, and with iteration comes testing. So you test, you iterate, and the loop goes round and round like that to make sure that at each and every point in time the product is at the best state it is for the users that are using it. And that's why I said that a product that wants to stay long term never really hands a hand off, if you know what I'm talking about. Even if you're not a designer working on the project in the next 1 to 2 years, there are going to be iterations on that design, on that product to make it better. So now I want to talk about handoff. So when handing off projects, it's important that there's a meeting. So at the beginning of the process of designing, there was a meeting, right, with the developers to and other members of the team to understand things. While at the end, there should also be series of meetings for the handoff process. Now, that handoff process is very important because that is when designers can give developers the design first mindset. So when you're handing off and you explain each and every process it is that is in the design phase of that application and that product, why this is there, how this should the guidelines they should follow. You explain how they can assess things in the design system and the documentation. It gives the developers a design first mindset. So they are not developing first, they are actually laying back on your design to make sure that the product that they are working on follows design guidelines, follows what it is that has been designed, what it is that has been approved. And these are things that are very important. So when you're passionate about what you're doing, you want that passion to lean on to other people that you're working with so that the passion doesn't end at the design and then what is finally developed and given to the users is rubbish. So it's important that these things are communicated to the developer. It's the designers more often than not that gives the developers a design first mindset. Okay, so you don't just design and then, oh, I'm done. This is the Figma link. Go and write the code. And they're totally confused. Sometimes trying to figure out things. It's also another thing in the terms of handoff is reaching out, always coming back to, what's up? Where are you guys at now? Can I see what you've done so far? Let's see if the products that you have, the parts of the project that you've worked on is in line with the design, is going back to the design, checking that, okay, what is in the development phase is in line with what has been designed. And in turn, that makes that product, it gives the product the higher rate of success when it's released into the market. So that's something that's very important. The handoff process, the handoff phase is very important for the success of that product because the designer and developers are all working together to, make that product a success. That's what you were hired for, that's what you're working for, and all of that. Okay, so that falls under continuous collaboration and then testing. I know in big companies, more often than not, you have QA testers, people that test the application, test the functionalities to make sure that they are working. They give feedback to the developers. Sometimes they also work with the developers and designers from time to time, and all of that. So when the product has been developed and is in the phase of testing, it's important for both the developers and the designers to be involved in that phase because it is that phase that would help you see that okay, there's a mistake here, there's something we need to change here. Even after a designer testing their prototype with users in the testing phase, it's also important that when the product is actually being tested, right, you're involved in that phase, both designers and developers. It is like seeing your child walking for the first time. You should be you'll be very excited when that happens. So that is how it should be for you when your product is being tested by real life users. Both the developers and designers should be involved in that testing process with the QA tester. If there's no QA tester on our run about ourselves, the two of you, the developers, development team and design team come together to make sure that they are involved in that testing process to make sure that okay, they get feedback from the users, they mark things down. There might be issues with functionalities, developers have to see to that. There might be issues with the design experience, the designers have to see to that. And when both teams can come together, work together, I promise you, if your village people are not following you, yeah, that product is definitely going to be a success. Okay, I hope with everything I've said, I've not confused you, but I've convinced you that design first development is very possible. And yeah, I hope the things I have said, if you're currently working in a company and there are loopholes and issues, you implement some of the things that I've talked about, and you're definitely going to see results. Thank you very much.
Should I rather say the Da Vinci of design? Thank you so much for such an elaborate conversation. It was really informative. I think one of the things I really picked out is that product designers and web developers, there is no quarrel between them. There is no
Exactly.
quarrel, honestly. So if you're a designer here today, let your beef with developers end today. Let it die here. And if you're a web developer, that's beef that you have is especially those developers. That beef you have with the designers, please let it end today because um, collaboration makes the whole process seamless. Collaboration makes everything easier. And as you have heard from the Da Vinci of design herself, collaboration is what you need to understand what is feasible and what is possible, so that you don't go and build what you think it's cool as a designer, and then to the product to the developers, when they see it, they begin to wonder how they want to start coding it and what they need to do. So thank you very much. It was a really informative session. I'm checking our YouTube to see if we have any questions, but from the comments I can see there is none. Personally, I have no questions myself because you have broke down everything to like the smallest possible bit that anyone can have. Okay, someone said, but sometimes our designers are Oh, Clinton is saying that sometimes designers are stressing developers. It's part of the process to help you think outside the box, of course. Because
So
if you
it
don't come
was.
up with, yeah, if you don't come up with innovative ways, how would design evolve? It will just be like replicating what is on what is on UBA down to money points. If I should try to use that example. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, you're
We really
welcome.
appreciate you.
Thank you for
So
having
we
me.
are going to be moving forward since we have no questions. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of Spacers Hack Conf. We love you, we appreciate you, and we
Thank
hope to
you for
see more
having
of
me.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
you. I believe we have no other questions, and we can immediately jump right next to our agenda for today. We have spent so much time. Um, we actually have a quiz which was supposed to begin like three, which was supposed to end. But since we have our senior tech bro in the house, the person of Peter Ayeni, I wouldn't want to keep him waiting. So I'd love to invite him on stage, and he's going to be talking to us on coding for social impact from real world problems to tech solutions, and that is what coding is all about. And I don't want to spoil by just trying to explain and all of that. I'm going to leave him to do the talking himself and to introduce himself. Mr. Peter, we're ready for you.
Hello, how you doing, Isabella?
Hi, good evening. It's so
Yeah,
good to have you today.
thank you. Me also. I'm really excited to be here. Great work you guys are doing. It's really amazing
Thank
to
you
see
so much.
community work like this. It's really good. Okay, so my name is Peter Ayeni. So currently a senior software engineer with a company in the United Kingdom called Natasia. So basically, what we do is we use technology and AI uh, to create defensive mechanism for a lot of organizations against bot attacks. Today bot attacks is a lot of things that everyone talks about. Even Twitter is plagued with bots, and that's the reason why, yeah, you see the verified account is something that is begins to take shapes across social media, because they believe if you pay for it, you won't actually be a bot. So what we do at scale is to help a lot of organizations to be able to combat bots. But that's just about me. Today, it's all about social impact and how we as techies can be able to create solutions that could change the world. And one of the things I think as an individual that I believe that have helped me uh, is when I discovered the power of technology to be able to make change in the world. And that changed my career and gave me a new perspective. It gave me meaning. It gave me a reason why I want to wake up in the morning and be excited. And that's one of the things that I want to impact to a lot of you that are watching today. So how can we go from just I know how to code? It's a powerful thing, not just about coding. Any kind of tech skill you have has the potential to bring a lot of change to the world. And if you look at it in the real sense of it, there is a lot of problem that our world are facing recently. We'll talk about climate change, talk about peace, talk about economy, talk about finance, talk about safety, you'll talk about abuse and a lot of things like that. So, talk of education, we have, especially in Nigeria, out of school students. So we have all of these problems that the world face. And also, one thing you're going to see is that we have the United Nations come up with this goal that is called SDG. So the SDG basically highlights 17 thematic areas that we should solve for us to be able to have a better world. And a lot of countries are doing better than the other in the scales of 17 things. So this is where you're going to be looking at what is the problem that is facing our society? What is the problem that is facing my own society as an individual? And how can I use technology to be able to solve this problem? How can I use technology to be able to create social impact? How can I use code to change the world? And there's a lot of initiatives out there that use code for change. We have code for social impact. We even have code.org that teach young people how to code. A lot of solutions out there, and I'm going to be sharing with you today. So I know a lot of you here are already software engineers, designers, techies. So I'm not here to talk about with you on how to become a techie or how to become a better software engineer. So I'm going to be talking today, giving you frameworks and tools that is going to help you to be able to create amazing ideas. So, and looking into your immediate environment and you see problem, and then how can you translate that problem to a solution, and how can you create that solution into something that other people can use? And that's what we are going to be talking about today. So I have a little slide that I prepared for this talk, and I'm going to just bring that up now. Let me see where I have that. So I'm going to present slide, present, share screen. Okay. Two monitors. Yeah, definitely I have two monitors. So what I'm going to do, sorry everyone, is I'm going to move this to the screen, and then I'm going to start a slideshow here, and then I'm going to present my second monitor so that it's much more easier for us to enjoy ourselves. Share the screen. Yeah, so let me know if the screen is shared so that I'm sure that people can actually see what is going on. Can you see my screen, everyone? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So the topic highlights is actually coding for social impact, from real world problems to tech solutions. So this is an amazing thing. You know, we have, this is like I've said initially, we have a lot of problems that is plaguing our world. And when I see what you guys are doing here with this community and the work you're doing about bringing people together, you are actually solving a particular problem. I know the team that comes together to create this conference and create this community will have identified something that, oh, there is something that is wrong. There's something, there is a gap that we need to fill. And then you look at the opportunity and you turn it into an idea. So, and that's how it is. Every solutions out there are forged out of a need. So there will always be a problem. And then we can now create a solution that actually solve that problem. So I want to take you on a journey of how can you identify problems in your community? How can you turn that problem into something that you feel like it's good enough as a problem to solve? And then how can you solve that problem and generate ideas, that you can create? And then how can you turn that idea to a physical product, services that you can serve your community with? So, and I'm going to create you through all of this journey. It's going to be amazing. So let's get started. So before you go, my name is Peter, and like we said, I like to make the world a better place by helping people get started in tech, and social entrepreneurship. So you can follow me on Instagram, on X, Peter Ayeni. That's it. On LinkedIn, just Peter Ayeni. And if you want to send me an email, you can send me an email at dpitayeni@gmail.com. Very, very happy to answer any of your email. Connect me on LinkedIn. Definitely, we can have great conversations there. So one of the things I want to highlight today is I'm an advocate of everyone becoming a social entrepreneur. So because you see that even though I'm a software engineer, I still pride myself as a social innovator because not just a social innovator, I've been opportune to create solutions that have won numerous awards in Nigeria and across the globe. And also I've been opportune to win several grants, fellowship, member of the Do School Fellowship in Berlin. I'm also a member of the Mandela Washington Fellowship in the US. So, and the power of using technology to solve social problems actually give me all of these opportunities. And that is what I want to experiment and also present to all of you today. So what is a social entrepreneur and what is social entrepreneurship? How is it different from normal entrepreneurs like we know? So a social entrepreneurship is about recognizing the social problems and achieving a social change by employing entrepreneurial principle, process, and operations. So why social entrepreneur is different from NGOs? NGOs, they see social problem and then they tackle the social problem in the social way without making money. That's what they call them non-profit. So basically by getting donations or getting volunteers to work on a particular project, which is great. But the problem and the gap with NGO is that sustainability is very hard because not enough people are willing to donate all the time. So source of income, and also when you apply for grants, the grant may not always be there. So because of that, projects can lag and there can be a lot of back and forth. So social entrepreneurship solve this problem because you can see a problem, a social problem, and then you solve that problem, but you can still make some money in a profitable way that your target audience can pay for that service. It may be subsidized, it may be easy to access, it may be more affordable than the alternative ones that you have in market, and that gives it a lot of advantage. So that way you can get grants, you can get donation, and also you can still make money, and that makes your projects, your ideas, and whatever you're building to be much more sustainable. And that's what social entrepreneurship is all about. So, and I'm going to give you some simple examples of social entrepreneurship around us, especially in Africa. And a lot of these solutions are in Nigeria and other African countries. So one of them, a lot of you might have known or heard of it, is called Planet 3R. So what Planet 3R does is they take, pure water sachet is a plague in our community. All over Nigeria, all over Africa, we see polythene bags and everything. Even in the oceans, some of these plastic bags end up in the ocean. So what they do is they collect all of this waste. They even pay people that bring this waste for them. So, and then they turn this waste they weave them and they make them into bags, into shoes. Even there is something that they're doing now, they make them into school bags. Now imagine, like, they have this sachet detergent that all of us use. I've used the detergent before when I was young. And then, when people use that detergent, they discard the nylon, right? So they pick all of this nylon and then they make them into school bags, which is really, really beautiful. So now people can pay for this product because they are really, really nice. So they make money getting this thing done. And then when they make money getting this thing done, and they also can get grants, they can get donations, and they make their business very, very sustainable. So another idea is called moped. So what moped does is that today we have a lot of food products in around the world. They are like chemical based, and some of them are preserved using some kind of chemicals and everything. And someone found out that why can't we make food that are natural and sourcing the materials from our own local environment? So this is like helping farmers and creating products that are actually sustainable, and then they can make money from it, and also it solve the problem of malnutrition among a lot of children. And the other one, Mama Money, is a fintech platform focus on solving women empowerment. So there is a lot of women there out there that they need empowerment. So this person find out how can I solve a problem for these people. It creates a fintech platform specially made for women. They give them loan. They also give them a POS machine where they can use to transact, and they can use that to even build their credits. A lot of us also know UTIBA. UTIBA solves the problem of future of work and developing talent across Africa and across the world. And these are all problems that have been identified, either in climate change, planetary hour, either it's in nutrition, either in finance and in education. You can see there's so many areas where you can see a lot of problems, and then you can see some of the example of solutions that have been provided. So where does it take us to? The idea is that how do we find problems in our society? There's a lot of problem in our society. And I tell people there are two camps. The first camp is the people that just like complain. Oh, Naira is going down. There is this thing. There is food is expensive. There is no rain. There is no water. There is debt everywhere. Like government is not doing anything. So there are those people that are always complaining about things. And then there is this second set of people, which I want us to be after this presentation. We call them the doers. These are the people that look at problem and then ask themselves a question about that problem. Like, look at all of this trash that we have here. Coke bottles, we have all of these things end up in the gutters. And then when they end up in the gutters, they block the gutters. Then rain fell, and then there is flooding, and then there is a mess, and then there are diseases, and then there is mosquitoes, and then there is malaria. You can see all the level of where the problems start from. So we now ask ourselves, the doers are the ones that ask questions from problems. How might we refuse and reduce the use of single-use plastics in our community? This is the way a doer thinks. We look at problem, how can we solve it? How might we do it? So every time someone complains to you about something, oh, the government is bad, there is corruption in Nigeria. So the thing you should be thinking about is that how might we make our government accountable? So you don't have to have the solutions to all of these questions, but asking questions is actually where solutions start to come from. I believe the initiator of this program and the code space community, there will be a time that you could have asked yourself the question, how might we help Nigerians, Africans, techies around the world to be able to have a community where they can come together and learn? And then these ideas come, and then you iterate on those ideas. And one of the things you should have, and if you are going to take anything away from this conversation, is always asking how. Every time someone comes with you with a problem, always think about how might we able to solve this? How might we able to do this? How might we able to do that? So because when you start in the question, then you start to think about solution. So after this, I'm going to be giving some process. Now we have a problem formulated. So this how might we can be anything. It can be how might we combat pollution in Lagos State? How might we combat this suit that we have in Port Harcourt? How might we combat unemployment of youth in Nigeria? How might we combat female vaginal mutilation? How might we combat like anything that you think about that is a problem that people complain about? If you ask that question, how might we do this thing? And then we can then step back to look at how can we come to a solution or to ideas that can solve this problem. And that is where the next steps is going to be. Because the framework I'm going to give you today is going to help you in a lot of things. Either in your company, either in your work, either you want to brainstorm ideas. These are all of the things that a lot of amazing organizations, I personally, people use to create solutions. And you guys are also doing hackathon, right? So sometimes in hackathons, you want to come up with amazing ideas. How can you solve a problem statement and turn it into ideas that you can make into a solution? So that is the next step of this slide. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start thinking as solution providers that we are as an innovator. So innovation doesn't just come out of the blue. There is a process that innovations follows. And if you follow this process, I guarantee you 99% of the time, you will always come out with an amazing results and brilliant ideas that you'll be like, wow. So this process I'm going to share with you, you can do it alone by yourself. If you have a startup or you have friends, you want to do it as a team, you can do it as a team also. And you can see the more people that get involved in this process, the more brilliant ideas you are going to have. So that's why it's really amazing. You can do it in your community. Even CodeSpace can actually organize an innovation process like this. Maybe you want to like partner with us, we can do this, and you see how the process works. It's amazing. This process has been used all across the world. We have process like this in different places, and the frameworks work. So, and this process is designed by the Do School in Berlin. So it's an award-winning process. It's combined design thinking and some other well-researched process to be able to formulate this. So what is the process of turning ideas into action? So there are 4 processes that we're going to talk about. And then we're going to talk about frameworks that we can use to make this, to implement this process. Number 1, we have the dream phase. So because we have problem statements. The problem statement is, how might we refuse and reduce the use of single-use plastics in our community? We have single-use plastic. Coke, you drink your Coke, it's being thrown away. You drink your water, it's being thrown away. You go to the shopping mall and you pack your stuff, and after that it's gone. So those are what we call single-use plastics, and these are what makes most deaths and most pollution in our community. So the first stage of this is dream. So the dream stage is develop an initial understanding of the problem and align it with your own passion and purpose while engaging in the blue sky thinking. So the reason why this is important is this. Every time you want to solve a problem, does that problem align with something you are passionate about? If it's not aligned with what you're passionate about, just stop, move to something else. So because solve a problem that is aligned with what you are passionate about. That way, you are able to go much more deeper. So that's why this first step is very, very important. If climate change and reusable plastic is not something you are passionate about, don't move forward. But for the case of this case study, we are just using this. So plug in this problem statement with something you're passionate about, and that's what it should be. So then the second level is focus, right? So you need to deepen your understanding through research while engaging with experts, users, getting feedback, and creating prototypes to continually improve your ideas. So the concept here is this. I tell a lot of people, as a social innovator, we don't build in isolation. As a social innovator, solving the problem of your community, you are creating a solution with your community, with those that problem is impacting directly. So you don't come and formulate an ideas and create a solution and then present it to people. Oh, I've created this, come and use it, come and subscribe, come and build. No. And a lot of us as software engineers, a lot of us as coders, that is the trap we get ourselves into most of the time. We think of ideas because we can code. We just code everything, pam, landing page, psh, everything, pam, 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 hosting, AWS, pam, pam. Oh yeah, advert. You want people to come and be using it. It doesn't work that way. From the beginning, you need to engage experts, engage your users, get feedbacks, create prototypes, and then continually improve. Because if you don't get feedbacks, if you don't understand the local problem, if you don't understand the market, if you don't understand these users that have this problem, if you have not engaged experts, like maybe there have been people that have solved this problem before, maybe there is a bottleneck somewhere. If you do all of these engagements and you create prototype and you iterate over it, you will be able to solve the problems better. Number 3, transition between idea and implementation, introducing essential management skills. So this is the plan. So during the plan periods, you want to like transition between ideas and implementation, right? Introducing, because management skills is very, very important. You want to plan, you want to manage yourself, you want to look at what are the teams that I need. So for instance, if you are one person and you are majorly a coder, like I'm a software engineer, so do you need someone that has business ideas, someone that can present, someone that can manage people, someone that have management skills? Then you need a co-founder that could be like the COO or something, or the CEO skills. You understand? So, which is very, very important. So don't think that, oh, I can do all this by myself. So look at your strengths and then bring, and your weakness, and then bring other people that can complement you. And then we have the last stage, which is do. So the doing stage is realigning the options, developing the focus phase with the priorities and criteria initially determined in the dream phase, deciding the best thing to do while planning for maximum impact. So the do stage is you want to go, that's where we create what we call minimum viable product, right? So you want to create what is the most painful thing, what is will be like out of all of these amazing ideas and great problem that people have, what is that solution, one thing that we can launch today that will be most impactful, that will give maximum impact to solving this problem, and then you go for it. So moving on now quickly, I'm going to be introducing to us some framework that allow you to go from that problem statement to generating of ideas. Because right now we need so many ideas. We need a lot of ideas. And the first thing you want to do is what we call system maps. So system maps is a tool, and the goal of the system mapping exercise is to develop mutual understanding of the problem to inform the rest of the day's activities. Like participants can also discover each other's expertise and knowledge. So these system maps can be done in group. You can do it by yourself. You understand? So during the what you're doing, and what you want to map out in system maps is 3 things. So you just like have like a circle, like you can see the 3 circles that we have there. Or you could just have like postcard with 3 colors. So what you want to map is people that problem you're trying to solve affected, places, the place that problem is affecting, and products, and what are the products that are related to the problem in your community. Like it's not so hard to say. Let's say, for instance, we are doing for somewhere in Lagos. Let's say for Ajegunle, for instance. So for the people, we can say, we could say, we can identify people. Like we can say Peter. We can say and give them a little profile who Peter is. We can give maybe Sandra. Maybe Sandra is the mother of 2 or things like that. We can create all of those profile of people that lives in that place. And can we live places? What are the places we want to start this problem? Maybe it's like, okay, maybe in the mainland of Lagos. Oh, in the mainland of Lagos, which are the areas in mainland we want to pick? We can pick like 4, 3, 4, 5 communities in mainland. And then what are the products? We know Coke, we know Fanta, we know bottled waters. We can name all of those products that connect with these things. So what system maps allow you to do is to understand that, oh, who are the people that this problem is facing? Who are really they are? You can create a profile for them. Where are they living? And what are the products that connect to this problem we're trying to solve? And then we move to the next skill framework that is called 4 quadrants. So now you've known the people, you've known the places, and then you've known the products. But right now you want to generate a lot of ideas to be able to help these people in those places with that particular product they have. So what 4 quadrant does is to help you to generate as much innovative ideas as possible. So you don't have to like, there's in this space, there's nothing like a bad idea. Every idea is welcome. And you need to have as many ideas for each quadrant. So you can have like a 4 quadrant. 4 quadrant, the first one is called the most innovative. So think, what is the most innovative way of solving the problem you can think of? It can be technical innovation, but doesn't have to be. Sometimes I used to tell people coding is not the only way to solve problem, but sometimes if we research that problem very well, we could even see some alternative way of solving that problem without having to write code at all. Number two, the most pragmatic way. What is the most pragmatic way of solving this problem? Viable short-term solutions. Like if you want to solve this problem to these people today without writing code at all, what can it be? Long shot. So long shot ideas are, what are the high risk, high shot, or long time approaches that we can use but that will promise a high reward. So you think of ideas like that also. And this is the most interesting part, the superpower. The superpower is that if you have a God power, how can you solve this problem? That's the concept. I'm very conscious of time. I'm just going to round up really quickly. And that's the superpower idea. So these four quadrants give you the power to be able to think differently. And you can see each quadrant have different kind of ideas. Innovative ideas using innovation, technology, and stuff like that. And it will not be technologies. And then we have the pragmatic idea, we have the long-term goals idea, and then we have the snap of the finger idea. Like if you are given a magical power or God-like power, how will you solve the problem? And what this does is just allow us to be able to think differently and generate amazing ideas. So after generating all of these ideas, the next step is what we do. We call it idea sheet. So idea sheet is just like you look at all of the ideas you've generated, and then you pick 2 or 3 of them that jump out to you that you think that make a lot of sense. It may not make sense or not, we don't know, but the one that really appeal to you, you pick them. 2 or 3 is fine, not 1, 2 or 3. 2, 3 is always good. And what you want to do is that idea, you want to name it, identify it with something, and then you want to give it a short description, and then you can draw something to just an illustration about the idea. So you do it for the 3 ideas you picked, and then what you want to have now is what we call gallery work. So you're going to stick your idea with that postcard you make on a wall, and then every one of your team member also will do the same for all of their ideas. So everyone will go to the ideas, and then you present your 3 ideas to other people, and then people give you feedback based on your own ideas. So when all of the gallery work have been done, depending on the number of people that does this, but if it is only you, also you can just like communicate the idea with yourself, or communicate or share the idea with someone, some of your friends, and let them give you feedback from that idea. And then after you get the feedback, everybody can vote and pick the best 2 ideas that is going to shine. So the next step is storyboarding, because you have to pick the best 2 ideas. So you allow people to vote. Sometimes if it is you personally, you can get the 3 ideas, send it to your friends, get feedback from them, and then let them vote on which one do they think is the best ideas. And then when they vote, based on their votes and your own intuition, pick one idea that you think is really cool, resonates with you, and makes sense, and then you storyboard the idea. So storyboarding simply means that you create a story for one of your users. So you know that, oh, this is the idea we are going for. Maybe creating a recycling plant in Ajegunle. You understand? So then you want to create a storyboard for your user. Who is the typical user of that recycling plant? You want to have their name, their bio data, what they do, what is their goal, and all of this data is going to be able to help you to create prototype for your user, you understand, for your identified unique user that is going to be using that product that you're going to be building. So then you go to prototype. So prototyping doesn't have to be hard. So some people think, oh, it has to be like the first prototype that Airbnb created was just a poster, not even a app. They created a poster. If you need a house to live tonight or to rent or to stay, call this number. And then they put it somewhere in the US and they stick it on the wall. And for days, they even get a lot of people call. And before you know it, they start having people calling in. And then when they're getting the call, literally they start picking. Even the first website was not even very robust as it is today. And then they evolved that platform like that. So your prototype doesn't have to be, you have to spend £1,000 or 200,000 to be able to build the prototype. Look for what are the simpler, easiest way you can create a prototype. It can even be a sketch on paper that you can present to your target audience and get their opinion and what they think about your idea. And then after the prototype, you create an action plan on how to make your idea into reality. You see, all of this process we have gone through have given us a lot of information. That information that is given to us is what we are going to input in what we call business model Canva. I know a lot of you have heard about this. I know a lot of us software engineers, when we are building our products or solutions, we don't even think about this. We are just from idea. Most of the time, we don't even design. We just go to code and just maybe get some teams and put things together quickly, and then we host them and launch and we're expecting customer to flock in. All of these things that we go through here, every of this process is giving you mountain of data and information about your process, about your ideas, about what you are creating. And if you can go through all of this process, before you know it, you have all the information that you are going to need to build your business model canvas. And your business model canvas is going to give you a whole picture of what your solution is all about. When you're going to talk to investors, to key partners, activists, you're going to explain your value proposition. You're going to apply for grants. You're going to apply for investment. You're going to apply to talk to partners. You need key resources. You need revenue stream, cost structure. All of these things are already in place. Even without writing one line of code, you already have a standard solution. And then after that, you can build your landing page. Your landing page doesn't have to be expensive. There's a lot of free solutions. You can use GitHub. Just create a landing page. What is the solution about? And a little bit description of your value proposition, and then you can ask people to sign up. You don't have to pay a lot of things. You can create social media presence and account. So this is an idea to just allow people to know what you're building, and you can also get the pulse of your users to know, do they really love what I'm going to build? And your landing page, without actually spending or building all the apps, you can get a lot of ideas. And when you launch your landing page and then you get reaction from users and stuff like that, you can evolve quickly and change your ideas and improve on it even before you start spending a lot of money and time to build the whole process. Some people build a landing page and sign up buttons. You can have like thousands of customers already waiting to use that product. And that is the best way to create from a problem to the solution you're building and to be able to present your ideas to the target audience. And the next thing you want to do is have a pitch deck. Pitch decks just represent everything we've talked about up to this moment. A lot of people like, what will I put on my pitch deck? If you go through all of the process we've gone here, everything you need to be on your pitch deck is already done. You have your problem statement for the first one. You have your solution. You have your market validation from people, places, market size. You already know who the people is. You know where they are. You know who they are. Products. You have your idea. Business model, how you're going to make money, adoption strategy, competition. You see, all of the process we've gone through give you everything to be able to have your pitch deck. And then with all of these resources, you can then find collaborators. You can build network. You can join communities. You can organize events, fellowship. You can even enter contests. And one of the first solution I built in Nigeria called Mbele, because going through all of this process helped me. When the Union Bank Centenary Innovation Award contest challenge, I have everything. And then when I submitted to that solution, it was just so easy for me because I've been able to think through my ideas. So because if you go through this process, you are able to think through your idea. By the time you are building your solution, you already know what you're doing. You're sure of what you're doing. You are sure of your target audience. You are sure of your why. You are sure of the problem you're solving. And also for the people you are solving it for. Thank you. So if there's any questions, I'll be willing to answer. And that's all. So you see, I didn't talk so much about teaching you how to code, but actually giving you all the tools you need to do more than coding. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. That was really, really informative. I enjoyed the whole process. Um, I would have to say when I decided to invite you because I knew it was going to be a game changer. A lot of young techies today, all they think about is coding, coding, coding. And I love that point you made that the solution to a problem must not necessarily have to do with programming or you even like rushing down to go and code or even build a project. So just like you mentioned, Airbnb started, it wasn't just about going to create a website first, and that is what we see a lot of young techies doing today. They have an idea, and with the snap of a finger, they're already building. The next thing you see on your bio, they've changed it to like founder.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Yeah.
yes, it's actually funny, and I'm so happy that you have actually walked us through this process. So, for everybody on the YouTube channel today, Mr. Peter has shown us a process. So, whatever you've been used to doing, you just like in a snap of fingers, you're going to code, O'Shea, Python, Lord, and all of that. So you need to stop that today. You need to understand that there is a process to a thing. Money Point is striving today not just because the CEO or founder decided to jump into coding. There are a
Yeah.
whole lot of process, and Mr. Peter has helped us with that process. From your products, from your problem statement, you have to find your problem. You have to do your analysis, and even when it comes to even like um choosing a founder, a co-founder, right? Rather, a
Yeah.
co-founder. There's a whole lot of thought process that goes into choosing a co-founder. There's a whole lot of process that goes into building a business, especially one that you want to thrive, not the one that it's just you and your family, people and friends that know the
Yeah.
application. And every day you be retweeting, please help me retweet. No, if you want to build something that is thriving, something that is sustainable, something that would be a solution to people. Like you made mention of Planet 3 Arrow. Planet 3 Arrow is a business I really admire. I've always admired the person of Adejuke Lasisi because um, I've seen a lot of people pitch this idea, and it all boils down to building an application, building a website, building this and building that. But as you can see from her own business model, it is less about the technology and more about doing the real work that impacts the community as a whole. And
Yeah.
when you made mention of a particular detergent, that was Viva. Viva
Yep.
had when she made the Viva bags, and Viva sponsored them. Yeah, Viva sponsored them, and you can see that sometimes it's not just coding that gets you the attention that you want. It is
Yep.
how you go about what you want to achieve, the problem you've identified. So thank
Mhm.
you so much, Mr. Peter. I haven't seen any question on the comment section, so I believe that you have done justice to everything. We have learned
Thank
a
you.
whole lot, and you just made it less about coding and more about the fact that a lot of people do not get to talk about in the industry. Thank you so much for your time. We love you. We appreciate you. It was nice to see you here today, and we hope to see you here again.
Definitely, definitely.
Thank you
I
so
definitely
much.
like
So,
like
if there are no other questions, I hope I'm not missing anybody's question. Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Peter, someone is giving you your flowers in the comments. Said, Omo, as usual, Mr. Peter did justice to the topic, but I came in late. Yes, you came in late. He talked so much. There'll be a replay. We would post it across our social media so you can do well to watch his session or any other session that you love so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter.
Thank you.
So moving forward, we would be calling in for our product showcase, which is from Saint Tokens. And is Mr. Toby on the call? Yeah, right here. Hi, Toby. Good to see you.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Please, can you unmute your mic so that we can hear you?
Okay, yeah, I've done it. You can hear me right now, right?
Yes, but your volume is quite low.
Okay. What about now?
Still the same.
Okay, I'm coming.
Please, to be sure that we are carrying everybody along on this conference today, please show me your favorite comments. Give me some fires, give me some love, give me some fire, give me some hearts. Just drop your favorite comments. Rather, your favorite emoji. Let me know we are all together.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, but the volume is quite low.
Jeez.
And if you can help us with your camera, would love that.
Yeah, I will do that. I just want to get my volume up first.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Now I know I am not alone on this call. Okay. Okay, while you're trying to set up, Toby, let us go for a quick quiz. Who is ready for a quiz session? Last week we had not last week, was it like 2 weeks back? But in the opening ceremony, we had a really interesting quiz session, and of course, I had to bring it back because I need to have that, relive that moment with you all again. Okay, I'm going to share my screen so that we can see the question. Hmm. Okay, somebody said we are here. Okay, I can see that you people are turning up now because ever since the our speakers have been giving their talk, I thought everybody just disappeared. So now I am assured that you're all here. So, like I explained, we're going to be going for a quick quiz while Mr. Toby gets ready. Please, can you confirm if you can see my screen? Okay. Um, okay. Please just exercise a bit of patience. I'm trying to display that. Okay. So I believe we can see that now. So just like we did last week. Okay, someone said not showing yet. I think it is now displaying. It's now displaying on the screen, so you can just check the screen. So just like we did in the opening ceremony, I'm going to read out the question because we are here not only to get some ideas, we're also here to catch fun, crack our brains, of course. So this is what this is about. So the rules is simple. When you see a question, when once I read it out, you just quickly type out the answer, and I'll let you know whether you are correct, whether or not it is right or wrong. So let's head in. So, what type of computer storage is known for its speed, but limited capacity? What type of computer storage is known for its speed but limited capacity? That is, it has speed, but then its capacity is limited. Hmm. Okay. I love this silence. I love this silence. RAM. Hmm. Okay. Is it really RAM? Is it really RAM? I don't think so. Any other person who is going to give it a shot again? Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Okay, going. So it's not actually RAM, it's actually SSD. SSD, which is like solid state drive, because SSD has faster data access compared to traditional hard drive, that is HDDs. But then it has less storage capacity. Yes, Harrison. Okay, somebody else said Rome. No, it's not Rome. Harrison is actually correct. It's SSD. But I was already giving all these explanations before you gave me the answer. Okay, let us move forward. Let us see. Which company is known for producing the iPhone and Mac computers? This one is simple as ABCD. Oh. Which company is known for producing iPhone and Mac computers? No. Yeah.
Good day, everyone. Sorry we had a little bit of network issues, but I think we have the team representative or the representative from Send Tokens, Mr. Toby, who is going to be like doing a product showcase now. So
Yeah, okay, yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now. So
Okay, so good evening, everyone. And so I'll be doing a live presentation for Send Tokens. Let me just start by saying what Send Tokens is all about before doing the pitch. So Send Tokens is is an a self-custody wallet with superpowers. What I mean superpowers is enables users to do transaction with ease. Let me share my screen. Yeah, my screen is sharing. Okay, all right. So you could see here send tokens, send and receive cryptocurrency with ease. Then we go to the problem that made us build send tokens. Crypto adoption is hindered by the difficulty of sending and receiving cryptocurrencies, and the traditional payment methods are slow and expensive. So, how can we solve that? Then, the solution Send Tokens offers a Web3 enabled applications that allows users to send and receive cryptocurrency with social media, that's email. Send Token leverages the security and transparency of blockchain technology to ensure that users' funds are protected. Send Token's unique feature, that's the crypto pin. Crypto pin allows users to generate a pin that can be redeemed for crypto, making it easy to gift crypto to family and friend. Then the next slide. The market potential, the global crypto market is expected to grow to $1.4 trillion by 2027, and the social media industry is valued at $140 billion and is projected to reach $238 billion by 2023. These intersections of the two industries present a significant market opportunity for send tokens. Then the business model, we charge a percentage of each transaction, send tokens. That's not really the transaction, but through top ups. When you're topping up your wallet through fiat or airtime, that's how we use to top up the send tokens wallet through fiat or airtime. We take percentage from it. And we go to the next slide. These are competitors that are in the web 2.
Hi,
I mean
Toby.
2.5.
Hey, sorry. We can't see your slides. We are just saying the send token, send and receive cryptocurrency with ease. Yeah, carry on. We can't hear you anymore. Hi, Toby. We can't hear you anymore.
Hello, Toby. We cannot hear you. We still cannot hear you. We can't hear you at all. Your mic seems to be muted. I still cannot hear you. Oh, the network is something else today. It is so terrible. I've been logged out several times, and coming back is one hell of a issue. Talking about problems. My tech bros and tech sis in the house. Network challenge is a huge problem in Nigeria. What are we doing about it? Because in every given virtual conference, in every virtual call, everything we just talk about is network issue. Either the network is logging you out or it's being distorted, and it's just a huge issue that definitely needs to be tackled without even telling someone your location. They can easily guess that, oh my god, you're in Nigeria, because the way your network will disgrace you. It is something else. So Toby's having a bit of issue in presenting, and I wouldn't want to waste much of our time because we have less than an hour, roughly 2 hours to spend here, roughly 1 hour to spend here, and I wouldn't want to waste any of our time. Please, Clinton, can you confirm whether Mr. Fonsho Felix is with us, or Mr. Um, Kusu Sundays with us? But while Clinton would be confirming that, we would head back to our quiz. Let us take a bit of break to calm our nerves. I really need to calm mine down because for a moment I was in a bit of panic mood because network just logged me out, and I'm like, what is happening? I'm trying to access my banks. None of them is working because I wanted to subscribe another network provider, but none of that was just working. So I was already panicking, like anyone would, of course. So yeah, we stopped at Apple. Yeah, which company is known for producing iPhone and Mac computers? We already answered that to be Apple. Yeah, Apple Inc. So yes. So our next question was, what is the main function of a CPU, which is also known as Central Processing Unit, CPU? This is like one of the earliest things I believe everybody in Nigeria did. Everybody in Nigeria or anybody anywhere across the world did in introduction to computer. So just like backtrack, I'm sure it's just like a few years ago. So what is the main function of a CPU, which is Central Processing Unit? CPU. What's the main function? Anybody? Or did you people disappear with the network? Let me know what's happening. Please don't disappear with the network. Oh, come back, come back. We are back. We are live. We are active. We are active. At least Isabella is active. So you all come back here. Let me see you. What is this silence? Is this silence because you don't know the answer to my question, or because you people disappeared with the network? Which of them? Which of them is it? So, did you put disappear with the network? Abi, you people don't know the answer to the question. Hmm. Finally, oh, somebody. Okay, process data. Process data. Is that really it? Is that really it? Why did you add that emoji after your answer? Is that you're not sure of your own answer? Okay, and act as the brain of the computer. Exactly. Act as the brain of the computer. to process and execute instructions, calculation. That's absolutely correct. That's correct. So that bit that you added, yeah, that's like the cocoa, the main thing in what the CPU does. So the CPU is the brain of the computer, is responsible for processing data and running programs, carrying out all the little instructions you give to the computer. So what is the primary function of RAM? Random access memory in the computer. Yes, I remember earlier there were a lot of people talking about RAM, ROM. So you guys should come and answer this question now. Now it's relating to what you've been talking about. What's the primary function of RAM in the computer? Why this silence again? I thought we have passed this stage. I thought we have passed this stage. Oh. What is the primary function of RAM? It provides a temporary operation memory for the computer. A what? Temporary. Okay. Hmm. Temporary. Yes. Someone else. Someone else. Someone else. Anybody. Going. Yeah, you're actually correct. It provides temporary operation memory for the computer because the RAM is actually fast and it's able to just like provide something temporary, a temporary storage for active programs and data. So that is that. Yeah, you got that answer right. Our next question is, what is the primary application of blockchain technology? What is the primary application of blockchain technology? What is the primary as in basic? What is the basic application of blockchain technology? We don't have any blockchain gurus here. Don't we have blockchain gurus here? I don't understand this silence today. Oh. Is everything okay? Please, if you know you're online and active, even if you don't know the answer to my question, just drop an emoji. Let me know that I am not alone. Let me know I'm not alone. Drop an emoji. No, I'm not alone. Okay, white noises is asking. Are you asking if it's in cryptocurrency? If that is what you mean, yes. In cryptocurrency, what is its primary application? How do you primarily apply blockchain technology? Okay, to save us time, let me just spill the beans since everybody has decided to play ghost on me. Meanwhile, I can see you all online, no, I can see you all. But then the primary application of cryptocurrency is to secure is to provide a secure and transparent record keeping process in cryptocurrency and even aside from cryptocurrency. And the reason is because blockchain has a decentralized ledger technology that is applicable to, that's why we have our web3 that is thriving, because it is the transparency and the fact that it is secure. That is the primary application of blockchain technology. It is why people want to opt for blockchain, and it's why there's so much rave about the web3, because it provides a more secure and transparent means of it's a more secure and transparent technology in general. So I hope that answered our question, and I hope this, you see at the end of the day it is actually something that you know, but if you had given it much deeper thoughts, you would have aced that. Now this one is very simple, and I am even thinking, as we are saying the question already displayed, I would be seeing answers to the questions already, but still I'm going to read it. What does AI stand for in technology? You know, people are always shouting, AI will take our jobs. AI will take our jobs. What is AI? What is that A and I? What is AI? Hmm. This one that everybody's taking time. Are we safe? Or are we going to browse Google? Are we still on this call together? Are we still in the Spacers Hack Conf together? Are we still together? Are we still in the same boat? Or some of you have left me behind? Yes, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, that is absolutely correct. Artificial intelligence, that is AI. Okay. Moving forward, what is the term for the process of teaching a machine to learn and make decisions like a human? What is the term for the process of teaching a machine to learn and make decisions like a human? Okay, machine learning. The Gershonites. I hope I am pronouncing that correct. It seems like it is only you and me that is active on this call. Oh. Machine learning, that is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. It is machine learning, and that is the process where you have to incorporate artificial intelligence, which is AI. We already talked about, integrate data. There's so much process that go into making a machine begin to think like you and I. There's so much process to that, and we have two more questions before we reach out to our next speaker. What are drones used for in technology and beyond? What do we use drones for? Drones. Drones is even more common than anything these days. A lot of creators, they use them in movies, they use them in so many things. So what is that particular thing that you say when you think about a drone, or when you see a drone, what is that one thing or two things or three things that comes to mind? What is it? What is it? Hmm. Hmm. So I'm not getting any response from anybody. So I believe that we do not know the answer to that question. Or maybe the question is kind of like confusing us. But let me just give an answer to that. Drones are used for aerial surveillance, which is like top view, like a bird view, if I should put it, just like from the sky. You know, when you are in an airplane or something and you are watching what is happening down from up. Just that drones are not really that high up most times, or should I say sometimes, they're not really that high up in the sky, but then it's used for area surveillance, even for photography. You see in, like you see in movies, or some of those content creators, they also use it. That's basically what drones are used for. So thank you everyone that participated in this quiz session. We are quickly going to call Clinton, because a couple of our speakers are experiencing, other speakers are experiencing some network issues, and you may have also noticed it with my network as well. I have been logged out several times because of the poor network. And we're just going to call up Clinton to give us a few words before we call it a wrap today. And don't forget that tomorrow is another day, the final day of the much awaited Spacers Hack Conference. So tomorrow we're going to be watching the hackathon participants pitch their project. They've made tweets. There's so much rave about the hackathon pitch. So don't forget that tomorrow it is also a date with us. Same time, same venue. The link would be displayed on our social media. So follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on LinkedIn, and even on Facebook. We are everywhere. So no matter where you go, would always be on your faces, and ensure to hit the notification bell. Follow us on YouTube as well, and always ensure to keep track with our activities, because at Code Space we are all about connecting yes, you, to global opportunities. And if you are not there, how would you get access to these opportunities? So Clinton would be joining us shortly, but before he joins us, ensure to go to our website, codespaceafrica.com dot com, and ensure you are part of our community on Slack. That is where all of the activity goes on. That's where we drop all the juicy job opportunities, internship opportunities, learning opportunities. it is for our members. And if you haven't filled a membership form, ensure to check on our posts or even um, on our website. You'd find a link there to the Slack community to even fill a form to join our community. Following us on Facebook or across all our social media handles does not just mean that, oh, you are a space that. No, that's not just it. You must have filled the membership form for you to be